Hi guys, good afternoon. So as for today, we'll be looking into ABC analysis. We will look into my first four columns A up to D. These figures are given to you. So what's very important for you to proceed is to understand the formula that needs to be inserted for each of these tabs. So let's start with the first column, which is column E. In order to calculate the dollar value, the first step is have an equivalent sign. You take the volume figure of C2 and you multiply with unit cost. That's the first step. And you got to click on enter. What I would like to advise each of y'all to do, as we are moving forward to column F, we have to make sure this our values are being constant. And that is where you have got shift 4. And that would be the dollar sign that you have to insert in front of each of the volume and the unit cost. So I'm repeating this again. Shift and you have to press number 4. And when key in enter, you will be able to get the same figure. That's the first bit. And as you get into this page, I would want you all to copy the same figure back to your column F, as your column F is asking for dollar value in descending order. So speaking about descending order, I believe that most of y'all would be very clear. It's from the large number to smaller number. So I'm just going to highlight again row number 2 up to row number 11, and I'll get to the term sort and filter. And if you look into these 4 tabs here, you could pick from the largest to smallest. Largest to smallest, and you will be receiving sort warning. And what does it mean? It's expecting you to either expand the selection or continue with the current selection. Looking into our assessment or looking into a question that falls under ABC, you have to click on expand the selection. And that's where you click on sort, and you'll be able to see on your Excel sheet, the numbers has been arranged from large to small. And before we move on to column G, the next step you got to have, make sure that you have inserted the total for each of this figure. So in order to do that, have an equal sign at the bottom and type in SUM, that refers as sum. And you have to drag on by opening your bracket, the first bit. You have to click on E2, drag it down up to E11, as you could see, close bracket, enter. You'll be able to get the figure as 232,057. And that applies for column F as well. Type in sum, and once again, key in or click on F2, drag it up to F11, close bracket, enter. And as you're done with this step, let's move on to G. And then you got to make a decision. Look at G, percentage of total dollar value. So this is where you got to take the figure of dollar value, and you have to divide with the sum that you have received. So in this situation here, if you look into my formula, I've inserted F2 and I've inserted E12. But what you have to add on, I'm just going to remove this to make sure that you have a practice with me together. Equivalent, step 1, F2, you divide with E12. And what do you add on is you got to make sure the value of E12 is constant throughout row 2 up to row 11. So in order to do that, guys, shift 4 before the alphabet and after the alphabet. Shift 4 and you click on enter, you get the answer in percentage form. And as long as you drag it on, you will be receiving all the figures accordingly. As we move forward to the last bit of this Excel sheet here, cumulative percentage of dollar value. As you look into what am I trying to do here, I'm trying to get a sum accordingly to what I'm after. So if you look into the first bit of it, you got to look at a sum of G1. G1 would be your 38.78%. There is a difference between semicolon and colon. So please don't get this confused. For an example, if I'm going to use colon as it is, and that's not the symbol that I'm after, you got to click on shift. Sorry, you got to click on shift, and you got to click on the symbol of colon. that will be next to the alphabet L. So if you look into what I've got here, sum G1, and we have the semicolon. My bad, it's colon. I'll repeat this part to make sure that we are clear. I'm sorry. Sum in bracket, we will have G2, and we'll have shift. Next to the alphabet L, you got to click on the colon, close bracket. And in order for you to make sure the value is being constant, once again, you got to have a dollar sign before G2, before the G, and after the G. And you click in enter. As you drag it down, you'll be able to see the sum should be 100%. So guys, this is the completion of ABC analysis. I hope this helps you guys, and hopefully you're able to understand the concept of this formula. So please take note, just to sum up what we have covered today, some key terms that you got to make sure. You should be very familiar with shift 4. That's the dollar sign. And you should be very clear, where do you place this dollar sign? Is it before or after? So I'm just going to run through this again once again. If you look into all my formulas here, starting from E2 onwards, you'll be able to see there is a dollar sign before the C2, and there's a dollar sign before the D2. Descending value, I copied and I pasted the whole bit, and then I click on sort from largest to smallest. As for the percentage of total dollar value, once again, I took up the F2, which is 90,000, and then I divide with E12 that we have got here, 232,057. And once I've clicked on the E12, and that's when I inserted the dollar sign in between. And then as usual, I dragged it out. As for cumulative on the other end, it's a sum. So equivalent sum. Again, I have to make sure the row 2 has the same answer, because it starts from the first point, isn't it? So it shouldn't be a manual way of doing it. It's supposed to be with this formula. And the point of the formula at the back, once you have picked your first figure, you need to make sure that you have the dollar sign before and after. So I hope this clarifies on your task. Thank you very much for watching this video. Wishing you all good luck. And if you have got anything to clarify, please do drop a message on this link. Thank you.